So yes, let's start with it.
Yes, ma'am. Jitu, kindly call the participants.
Jitu, admit them if you're waiting.
Yeah, they're joining.
Yeah.
P265 is still joining.
Yeah.
It will take a
Okay,
minute.
okay.
Good morning, everyone present. I'll just introduce the courtroom officers and the honorable judge, and then as the court team will step out of your way, and we'll let the proceedings start. So, firstly, our courtroom in charge is Yashaswini. She'll be handling everything inside the courtroom. If there's anything, ma'am, you require, you can ask her. She'll help you out with the memorials, scoring, everything. Then secondly, we have the courtroom volunteer, that's Jitu. She will be handling everything outside the courtroom. She'll be providing the participants with links, asking them to be on standby and so on. And then we have Lavanya, who's a courtroom reporter. She's making a note of everything that's happening in the courtroom. You can rely upon her if you want to cross-check anything if needed. Then I want to introduce our Honorable Justice in the High Court of Wakanda, uh, Justice Taniksha Mohan, and we're really grateful to ma'am that she's joined us today, uh, especially with how things have been going yesterday and day before and even today. We're just really P265. Can you switch on your video? P265.
Yes,
Ma'am,
just a second.
yeah, ma'am, do you have access to the score sheet?
Yeah, I have access to the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to mark in 6 columns. They've all been mentioned, and you can
Yeah.
do the scoring once the participants leave. Participants, just to
Yeah, exactly. I'll do that.
participants, just to bring to your notice, kindly stick to your time limit. The time would be controlled by Jitu. She'll show placards and also press a bell so that everyone is aware. If you're not speaking, put yourself on mute, of course. And lastly, any extensions would be on the basis of the discretion of the judge, and otherwise there will be no extension. And lastly, you're not supposed to share your screen. All the submissions you've made have been sent to ma'am prior to the event, the compendium, the written submissions, so no sharing screen. Okay. P265, if you're ready, the courtroom in charge will announce your round and we'll begin. And I'll step out of your way and let the proceedings begin as first. P265, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, there is some technical issue. Just a second.
Yeah. Yes, Srini, whenever P265 is ready, you can announce the round and then we'll begin.
Yeah, you're visible P2. Thank you. Can we start the proceedings now?
Yeah. Sure.
So in the High Court of Wakanda, the first round is about to start. P265, you can start with your arguments. May it please the court, my team code is P265 and I appear on behalf of petitioner. My lordship, may I start with the statement of jurisdiction?
Yes, you may start.
Much obliged. The petitioner humbly submits this memorandum on behalf of petitioner before this Honorable Court of Wakanda under Article 226 of the Gotham Constitution 1950, which states the power of High Court to issue certain writs. Notwithstanding anything in Article 32, every High Court shall have the powers throughout the territories.
Article 32?
Ma'am, I'm reading Article 226, which says, notwithstanding anything in Article 32, every High Court shall have the powers throughout the territories in relations to which it exercises jurisdiction to issue to any person or authority, including in appropriate cases, any government within those territorial directions, orders or writs, including writs in the nature of habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, quo warranto, and certiorari, or any of them for the enforcement of any rights conferred by Part 3 and for any other purpose. Ma'am, if you are well versed with the facts, may I proceed with the statement of issues? Or
No,
shall
I
I repeat
want you
the
to give
facts?
me brief of the facts.
Much obliged. Lordship, the state of Wakanda was suffering from the pollution, because of which the government of Wakanda announced the green Wakanda policy for on the trial basis for 1 month. But after analyzing the issues, the Prime Minister extended it to the 2 years. And the Fundamental Liberties Group, the petitioner for this case, has filed the petition in front of the High Court to declare the Green Wakanda policy as unconstitutional.
Yes. Okay, proceed further. Now come to the issues.
Much obliged. First issue is whether the petitioner filed by Fundamental Liberties Groups is maintainable in the Honorable High Court of Wakanda. Second issue is whether extension of the Green Wakanda policy is constitutionally valid. Lordship, may I proceed with the first issue?
Yes, you may proceed.
Much obliged. It is humbly submitted before this Honorable Court that the petition filed by FLG is maintainable in this court of law. As stated in the Constitution of Gotham itself, herein the powers of court under Article 226 and Supreme Court under Article 32 or Article 136 cannot be taken away by legislature. It was contended in Raj Krishna versus Binod that when the legislature states that the order of tribunal should be conclusive, the court should not interfere. Rejecting the contention, the court held that the powers conferred upon Supreme Court under Article 136 and on High Court under 226 cannot be taken away or whittled down by the legislature. And
okay, so coming to the, sorry to interrupt you, coming to the next case of Ajay Hasija versus Khalid Mujib, you have written that in this case, it was maintained that word state is included. Am I correct?
Yes.
So can you please explain me that how can you justify the word state which has been included, justify to the thing or the issue that you want to stand out?
Sure. My lordship, herein the petition could be maintainable in the High Court if there has been any infringement of fundamental rights, and this petition could be maintainable against the state. State, as mentioned in Article 12 of the Gotham Constitution, says that any government body or any legislative or any local authorities and other authorities within the territory of Gotham or under control of government of Gotham.
Okay. Now, let me just ask you one more question. In this page number 12, you have written that doctrine of separation of powers has not been accepted in the Gotham in its strict sense, in last line on page number 12.
Yes.
So, can you just explain me how can you say that separation of power firstly comes into the issue that you are talking about? Secondly, I want to know that how can you say it has not been accepted in Gotham in its strict sense?
A doctrine of separation of power is basically the division of three bodies of the government. If two of the bodies, that is legislative and executive, are completely given power over the then it would be like a king over the country, and it would not be maintainable, as Supreme Court has the right to have a judicial review, because of which this petition is maintainable under this honorable court.
So you are saying that having a right of judicial review is something that says the power of separation is not being applied in strict sense in Gotham.
Yes.
But how can you say that? Talking about judicial review, it is a system of checks and balances. You can't say that system of checks and balances is something that is not able to, or that is a hindrance for application of the separation of powers?
It is not a hindrance. It is basically a system of check and balance that the legislation or the executive could not take over the country and could do because it is a democratic country. There need to be a check and balance doing, or I should say, judiciary is doing.
Yes, definitely. Legislature and executive cannot take over the country, but same goes for judiciary. Even judiciary can't do that. Three of them go hand in hand and they are interlinked. And talking about them being interlinked doesn't mean that the separation of power is applied in institutional sense.
Yes, my
Anyways, coming to the okay. Coming to the next issue, you may proceed.
It is humbly presented before this honorable court that the Green Wakanda policy infringes the fundamental rights guaranteed to its citizens through the Constitution, and any law inconsistent with the
I
part
may
3,
request you to please tell me the page number you are reading.
page 15.
Okay.
Part 3 of the fundamental rights shall be void to the inconsistency which is specifically provided under Article 13 of the Gotham Constitution. Talking about right to equality, the state government of Wakanda has failed to ensure right to equality to its citizens, which is a fundamental right guaranteed under Article 14 of the Gotham Constitution. In Basheshwar Nath versus Commissioner of Income Tax, Article 14 is admonition addressed to state and does not directly purport to confer any rights on any person. But a general rule was laid down in Chiranjit Lal Chaudhary versus Union of India. The guarantee of equal protection of laws means protection of equal laws. It forbids classification which rests upon reasonable grounds of distinction. Now the question arises, how can one determine that there are reasonable grounds for distinction or not? Thus the court under Gopi Chand versus Delhi administration laid down two tests for determining that there are reasonable grounds or not. First, intelligible differentia. Second, the differentia must have the reasonable grounds. In the present case, the Green Wakanda policy is not at all ensuring the right to equality as to all its citizens, and there is no reasonable ground for
I
distinction.
want you to hello.
Yes,
I want you to explain me these two tests in just 2 lines.
sure, much obliged. Intelligible differentia is basically dividing a group of people into citizens into different groups, and the second test is that those distinctions should have the reasonable difference and reasonable difference to that intelligible differentia.
Okay, perfect. Proceed.
Thank you. Coming to right to freedom, Article 19 guarantees certain valuable rights which as a whole constitute right to freedom. Herein under the Green Wakanda policy, the government fails to do so as the implementation of this policy has restrained the movement of the citizens in the state of Wakanda by limiting the days of using motor vehicles. It is also laid under Section 115 of the Motor Vehicles Act that the government could only limit the days of the restriction days to only 1 month, not more than that. Coming to Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause G, which says freedom of profession, occupation, trade. Ma'am, may I just conclude?
You want to conclude? Okay. You've got the instructions?
Yes.
Okay. Then just wrap up with the prayer and conclude it.
Sure. Much obliged. Wherefore, in the light of the facts used, issues raised, arguments advanced, and authorities cited, it is most humbly and respectfully prayed that this honorable court may please to adjudge and declare that first, the honorable court is in position to maintain the said petition. Second, the Green Wakanda policy should be declared unconstitutional. Third, that the honorable court may direct the government of Wakanda to take necessary steps in reducing the pollution level and or pass any other order that it deems fit in interest of justice, equity and good conscience, and for this the respondent, as in duty bound, shall humbly pray. All of this is
But the step that has been taken by the Wakanda government is itself an image of good conscience. And you yourself are putting it into the prayer, and again you are contradicting to that by filing a petition for the same.
my lordship, it is under article 21 says that it is a right to life, which says I'm not the petitioner is not saying that the government should not introduce the policies in regard to pollution, but the petitioner contends that the policy should not infringe the fundamental rights, that government should introduce such policy that which should not infringe the fundamental rights, curbing the pollution.
Okay, fine. Okay, thank you.
Your Ladyship, can we proceed with the arguments of the respondent?
Yes, you may proceed with the same. Can you just give me 2 minutes for that?
Yeah.
I need to stop a video. Just
Okay.
give me 2 minutes for that and we'll proceed further. Okay?
Much obliged.
Yeah. And I would request you to please mute me for the time being for 2 minutes.
You can mute yourself, Your Ladyship.
Okay, okay, then it's fine, fine. Okay.
Participants, kindly wait for 2 minutes.
Hello. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah. Hi. Please proceed.
R430, you can start your arguments.
The council seeks permission to move on to jurisdiction of the court.
Yes. Can you please be a bit louder?
It is audible.
Yeah, you are audible. I'm asking you to be a bit louder.
Okay. The council seeks permission to move on the jurisdiction of the court.
Yes. You may
Much
proceed.
obliged, Your Ladyship. The statement of jurisdiction, the Honorable High Court of Wakanda.
Wait a minute. Before moving to the statement of the fact, I need to ask you one thing, that on the cover page, you haven't mentioned the name and the year of the competition you have participated in.
Actually, there is no any rule on writing the name and year of the on cover page.
Yeah, there was a rule. Maybe you are not aware of it. You have mentioned beneath it, but not on the cover page. Also, you are respondent. You have filed a PIL.
Yes, I filed it here.
Okay. And at the same time, you are giving a written submission on the behalf of petitioner.
Yes.
Counsels appearing on the behalf of respondent.
Actually, we are. This is the written submission on the side of the petitioner, and I am for the respondent side. So that's why I have written on the cover page.
Okay, you may
Like, can I
proceed
move
further.
forward? Yeah, the
Okay,
Honorable High
okay.
Court of Wakanda has a jurisdiction under Article 226 of the Constitution of the Republic of Bhutan, which we read as follows: 226 remedies to enforcement of right conferred by this part, the right to move the High Court by appropriate proceedings for the enforcement of the right conferred by this part is guaranteed, and the second is the High Court shall have power to issue direction or order writs, including writs in the nature of habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari, whichever be appropriate for the enforcement of any right conferred by this court. Can I
Come
move
to the statement of issues. Yeah, I don't need to hear the facts. Come to the statement of issues.
much obliged already. Starting from the issue number one, the PIL filed by the Fundamental Liberties Group in the High Court of Wakanda is not maintainable because there in the sub issue I have written that there is a no locus standi on the side of the petitioner, and the second is the petitioner should have rather approach the High Court and there is the abuse of power from the there is abuse of power from the side of the petitioner, and the last one is in such petitioner court cannot interfere in the legislative policy. Starting from the sub issue sub issue 1.1, which is on page number 11 of the
Explain the point that there is abuse of process by the petitioner, and please tell the page for the same.
much obliged to ladies. I am coming on that. Page number 11 in para 2, it is humbly submitted that a person acting bona fide and having a sufficient interest in proceeding of public interest will alone have locus standi can approach the, under Article 226. When a person acquire a locus standi, he has to have a personal or individual right which has been violated or threatened to be violated. But in these circumstances, the fundamental liberties groups have no any not having any individual right or not any not any kind of this right is violated under and because of this policy of government Wakanda, and this policy is only for the welfare of the public at large. If you coming to the fact of the proposition, the AQI level the AQI level of the air quality is damn poor. When the policy is implemented on 1st January of 2020, the it is up to the 270 to 300 marks. But after the implementing of this policy, the air quality of the Wakanda is coming to the AQI 70, which is good for the health. And the government of Wakanda is ensuring the Article 21 of the Constitution of Gotham for the every citizen. So that's why this policy is implemented in the in the Wakanda. So this is the 1.1 issue which is written on the page number 11, para number 2, and thus there is a second sub issue locus standi of the petitioner. The petitioner, there is the fundamental liberty group filed the petition in the before the High Court of Wakanda. The petitioner in present case has shown there is no sufficient interest. It's voluntarily. It's the voluntarily organization which come forward yes
Okay,
yes
coming to your second issue where you have written that there has been no violation of Article 19. Can you justify why is there no violation of Article 19? Because many industrialist businessmen are not able to go to their works. And if they'll not go to their work, it's not possible for every market person to do work from home. Then
yes
how can you say that there is no violation of Article 19
much
in spite
obliged.
of having a restriction for the same in Article 19.6?
Yes, ma'am, I got your question. Much obliged, your lordship. let's say, actually, the Article 19(1)(g) is not absolute in nature. A state, if deemed fit, a state government or a central government, but in this case, a state government deemed fit, there is a chances of environmental issue, which is come under the Article 21 of the Constitution of Bhutan. If the person is not healthy, not able to, if the person is not healthy, not able to get the good oxygen, then how they will work in the for the large term, large period of time. So this why this policy is implemented. This policy is implemented for the 1 month. Then after checking and balancing of this policy, the government of Wakanda policy is extended up to 2 years, because the consequences of this policy it become in very successful in nature, and very successful in nature, and this is why this policy is extended up to 2 years. And the coming to your the question is the Article 91(g). This grant every citizen to propagate any kind of business which is come under the non-essential services or industries. But this is not absolute in nature. As if the state deems fit or the central government deems fit, then it can be violated from time to time. Yes, can I move further, ma'am?
Tell me that how is Act is in the pursuance of Part 4 of the Constitution of India, because it is more in pursuance of Part 3. If you closely look at to the situation that is currently happening in Gotham, what can you say and how can you justify it in pursuance of Part 4 of the Constitution?
Can you repeat, ma'am?
How can you justify that act done is in the pursuance of Part 4 of the
Yes,
Constitution of
ma'am.
India?
It is already written in the page number 20 of my memorial site. The Part 4 of the Constitution encompasses the article which contain directive stating the duties of the state as well as lawmaking. The directive and the fundamental rights supplement each other at the goal of bringing about social revolution as well as to establish a welfare state. And the welfare state is only possible if we implement this kind of policy for the long period of time. Because the pollution is not something you just come
Yes,
up from
that
the
is fine.
pollution,
It should
then
be
just remove the
implemented for
pollution.
the okay, it's fine. It should be implemented for the long period of time, but you can't compare 1 month to 2 years, right? If you are saying that you have implemented a policy for 1 month and it has given you good results, then the long extension sensibly or reasonably should be to at least 3 months or 4 months to just see that how it works with public, rather than extending it to 2 years.
Uh,
I think 2 years are much.
Yeah, the
Yes.
uh, the government of Wakanda has in the Annex 2 which come under the frontline services like doctors, and which is essential for the people. And this policy is implemented for the 2 years only, because this is the proven fact. We cannot proven fact we cannot curb the pollution only in the span of 1 month or 2 months. So this is why the Wakanda government policy is implemented for the 1 month first, and this is extended to the 2 years later.
Okay, now come wrap up everything with the prayer.
Um, Much obliged, Your Ladyship. In the argument that advanced case and authorities cited, the counsel for the respondent humbly request the Honorable High Court of Wakanda to uphold the Green Wakanda policy and adjust and declare that the Green Wakanda policy doesn't violate any fundamental right of the citizen of Bhutan. And secondly, the Green Wakanda policy upholds the principle of social justice enshrined in the preamble of the Constitution of Bhutan. And thirdly, the Green Wakanda policy is not violated any fundamental or legal right of citizen of Wakanda, and this policy made for the concern of citizen of Wakanda, and pass any other order, direction of relief that court may deem fit in best interest of justice, fairness, equity, and good conscience. For this act and kindness, the respondent shall duty bound forever pray. Thank you. Much obliged, Your Ladyship.
So in this prayer, you are just saying You are just justifying your issues. You are not asking for any compensation, or you are not asking for any steps to be taken, or you are not saying that extension should be given. This prayer is somewhere complete. I can't find anywhere that you are in for the favor of extension for the same. I can only find that you are saying that whatever principles that are being upheld, or whatever policy has been made is correct. You
Ma'am,
have nothing to take from
actually,
court.
I am
You are
appealing from.
basically,
Actually, I am appealing for the respondents not demand for because this is implemented. Any policy will be implemented in the constitution. It need to be checked, and it need to be checked on the fundamental rights. It is the violation of fundamental right of the citizen of Wakanda or not. And this policy that there is a no violation
yes,
and no
but
clear
then
cut
prayer
violation of.
should be that if it is not in the violation of fundamental citizens of the Gotham, then same should be extended. The
Uh,
policy should not be taken down. As the CM has not taken down the policy, so you should write that the policy should not be taken down,
yes,
because you
this
need to
policy.
understand the petitioner is asking, or the petitioner are seeking for prayer wherein they are asking something in their favor. But being a respondent, you have only justified that it is not in violation of fundamental rights. Also, I can't see any kind of favor or anything that you want from court. You have only justified whatever you have written in your, what can I say, like,
Yes,
submission. Okay.
written in the written submission. This policy cannot be cut down.
So, okay, keeping the memorial aside, do you think there is anything you can add to the prayer at the point?
This policy will be extended to 2 years, and this is not violating, and this will not be cut down. This is not going to the.
Okay. Okay, fine. Fine. Thank you.
P265, do you have rebuttal?
Yes.
Your ladyship, can we proceed with the rebuttal?
Yes, you may proceed with the same.
My pleasure. My opponent counsel said that the petitioner is not having any locus standi, but I would like to quote the case, the precedent case, which says that the petitioner has a right to stand in front of the court. In Akhil Bharatiya Shoshit Karamchari Sangh versus Union of India,
Can you please tell the page number you are talking about?
sorry, my ladyship, I have not stated this in the memorial because I got the memorial yesterday.
Okay. Proceed. No worries. Proceed.
My pleasure. Here, Supreme Court held that Akhil Bharatiya Shoshit Karamchari Sangh, through an unregistered association, could maintain a writ petition under Article 226 for redressal of a common grievance, access to justice through class action. Here also the fundamental liberty group is accessing the justice through a common grievance. Also, my opponent counsel, when it comes to section Article 19 subclause Article 19 subclause 5, which says that there should be some general interest in the infringement of the fundamental rights. But here, the policy is not in the interest of general public, as the government said that public should avail the public transport, but there is a lot of inconvenience. Also, the government said that the people should work from home, because of which many people are just losing their jobs, and which is against Article 19 subclause 1 subclause G. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. You may please call the
R4,
respondent.
R430, your sir rebuttals, please, for 1 minute.
May I proceed, ladyship?
Yes, you may proceed.
In the page number 19, my learned counsel, there is a written that there are no adequate public transport to cater the needs of public of Wakanda and hence causing a lot of chaos in the state. There is nowhere written in the proposition. There is a no transport catering because the government of Wakanda ensuring the public transport for the every citizen who is residing in the Wakanda. And coming to the second rebuttal, the physical movement, and here the physical movement is restricted by the government. And here there is no any kind of Article 19(1) is violated by the government of Wakanda. And this is the second rebuttal. Coming to the third rebuttal, coming to the third rebuttal in the page number 21 by learned counsel, it is clear stated that it is further pleaded that the people working and living in the state of Wakanda are not able to survive. There is a huge amount of pollution. Learned counsel it is accepting there is a huge amount of pollution in the government of Wakanda, then why this policy should not be implemented for the 2 years? And coming to the fourth rebuttal, the amount of pollution has led to decline in the living standard and has led to many diseases to various group of people, and therefore giving the Wakanda policy also includes the right under Article 21. If there is a disease causing by the pollution or so-called thing, then why this policy should not be implemented in the Wakanda, and this should be extended for up to the 2 years. Thank you. Much obliged, ladies.
Okay.
Participants, thank you for your submission. You can leave the group.
Hey, so I want to know what's your name?
Ma'am, I'm Yashashwini.
Okay, Yashaswini. Yashaswini, I need to ask you one thing that do I need to fill the score sheet right after?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then just tell me one thing. I got two links for the score sheet, okay? And the one was invitation to edit, and the second one was talking about the details of this Lex Macula. So I want to ask that either of the score sheets would work, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Like
You
if
can
I
choose invitation to edit.
invitation to edit. Okay.
Ma'am, actually, to be very honest, I hope I'm audible.
Yeah, you
Regarding
are.
the score sheet, you can fill it towards the end as well because I know you want a relative marking. We understand that. So the score sheet, you'll see sheet number 4 that says courtroom 4 in the Google sheet. We're in courtroom
Yeah,
4.
I can see that. Yeah, I have opened up that.
Yeah.
But you know, like I have got two mails, one stating invitation to edit, and other talking about the details of the second Lex Macula competition. So
Yeah,
and both have score sheets, right? So I was asking which one to fill.
invitation to edit. Invitation.
Okay, perfect. Fine. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Should we call in the next team, ma'am?
Yes, you may proceed because now I'll fill this score sheet. Or let me just fill the score sheet at the moment. Just wait.
Jitu, call in the next team in the meantime.
Excuse me. Hello, hello.
Yes,
Don't
ma'am.
call
Yes,
them
ma'am.
right away. I'm saying that let me just fill the score sheet
Okay,
right
ma'am.
away. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Because that will be more convenient for me and fair to the participants too. Is that fine with you? Or are you going late on your time? So I can do that later also. Can
No
you just
problem, ladies.
Okay, okay. Then that's good. Fine.
Let us know when we can call so we can call the participants at that time.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Just wait. Hey, hello, Yashaswini. Am I audible?
Yes, Your Ladyship, you're audible.
Okay, okay, okay. Perfect then. You may proceed further.
Yes, Your Ladyship. T155, I request you to switch on your video. R270. Your Ladyship, can we start with the arguments?
Just wait a minute. Let me just open their memorial.
Okay.
So P115 is ready.
Yes, ma'am. P155.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, my mistake. All them.
P155, you can start with the arguments.
This is the counsel on the behalf of the petitioner.
Can you be a bit louder?
I know, ma'am.
Yeah, proceed.
This is the counsel on the behalf of the petitioner. The counsel would like to deal with the facts. The Republic of Gotham is located in Southeast Asia with a population of 1.4 billion people. Wakanda is a state located in northern part of Republic of Gotham. In the past few years, the air quality level is continuously worsening. The number of regions are being tracked in which the most concerning issue is vehicular pollution. On January 2020, Wakanda government introduced the Green Wakanda policy to stop the growing air pollution. Under the policy, the state government aims to reduce vehicular pollution.
Okay, okay. I get that. I want you to come to the statement of issues. So I want to know about issue number 1. How can you elaborate on the same, talking about the argument of the issue?
It is most humbly submitted before the Honorable High Court of State of Wakanda that the present case is maintainable because the Green Wakanda policy violates the fundamental rights of the citizens of Wakanda given under Article 14, 15, 19.1d, 19.1g, and Article 21. The policy in the present case is based on unreasonableness. It puts restrictions on the citizens of Wakanda in an illogical and arbitrary way. The policy does not adequately determine the principal cause and remedies.
Can you
and
please
is
also tell the page number you are reading from?
Sorry, ma'am. Sorry, pardon.
Can you please also tell the page number that you are reading from?
Your Ladyship, I'm not reading from the memorial. I've written it myself. I didn't want to copy something from the memorial.
Okay, that's fine. I get that. So let's not see the memorial since you are also not reading from the memorial. So let me just ask you questions that I can see from your memorial. So basically, you have stated that the policy has put restrictions on these articles 14, 15, 19, 19, 1G, D, 21. Okay. So I want to ask you that how can you say that it has been a restriction on Article 14, wherein this has been not written anywhere in the whole case or any kind of the policy that has been given that this particular would be applied on this class of person or the other class of person, and the same has been mentioned and is stated in Article 15 also. They have not divided people on the basis of class that you can justify that Article 14 and 15 are being violated here under this petition.
Obliged, Your Ladyship.
Yes.
In the policy restricts the use of motor vehicle and does not pay heed to people who cannot opt for public transport like disabled people or handicaps or pregnant women. The policy also puts restrictions to persons who commute, who on a regular basis commute in and out of the state. thus violating their right to livelihood. The policy also in para 3, line 16 of the mood preposition, the policy gives the provision to increase the number of public transport but prohibits the use of motor vehicles. Public transport is also a source of air pollution. This will also result in the increase of air pollution. Thus, it makes the policy unworthy.
I'm sorry, what did you stated that what would result in increase of air pollution?
Public transport. Increase in number of public transport will also lead to increase in air pollution because public transport will also work through CNGs and petrol and other fuels like motor vehicles does. So here the policy, the government has to do is um, give remedies or some provision that allow people to use motor vehicles but on certain restrictions. Here the policy completely restrict them to use their motor vehicles.
But it does not restrict them. It's saying that you can go and work for 10 days. It's not restricting. Also, it's giving, like, what you can say, power to the people who are supplying you essential commodities that they can anyway commute, and also to the government authorities, they can commute. And if that is the case, then what is the harm? I can't understand that why is it against Article 15? It's not dividing anyone on the basis of class.
Ma'am, there are certain people who cannot opt for public transport, like there are handicaps, pregnant women, and disabled people who cannot walk, or there are some people who can only commute by their means.
But Article 15 clearly lays down that on the grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth, and I don't know how is it relevant to that. And it also says that you can't have access to the shop, wherein you are having access to the shops. And in those 10 days, obviously people would open up their businesses. So how can you say you don't have access to shops or the use of wells or tanks?
In 0.5b, the policy says that non-essential good industries have to take a special permission from the state government to run and exempt other essential good industries from the policy. At some point of time, we are also needed for non-essential goods. And if this policy will run over a long period of 2 years, then we'll lead to shortage of non-essential goods, thus violating Article 15 2A.
Okay, proceed further.
In the case Kathi Running versus State of Saurashtra, 1952, Supreme Court 123, the court said that if a law or provision lacks reasonableness, it will also lead to arbitrariness. The policy restricts use of motor vehicles and does not pay heed to people who cannot opt for public transport, like disabled people and handicaps. In case Kharak Singh versus State of UP, the Supreme Court said that the right to move freely throughout the territory of Kodam means the right of locomotion, right to move wherever one likes and however one likes. The policy also discriminates between essential and non-essential industries. It is necessary to shut down the industries, but if the condition extends for too long years, it will lead to shortage of non-essential goods which are needed at some point of time. The shutdown of industries will also lead to unemployment. The term life in Article 21 of the Constitution is not merely a physical act of breathing. It has a much wider meaning. If merely a fundamental right of a person is violated, then indirectly its right to life is also violated, providing under Article 21 of the Constitution. The Green Wakanda policy indirectly curbs the right to life given under Article 21 by prohibiting people to move freely, not giving equal opportunity in public employment, and the absence of reasonableness. This extension of the Green Wakanda policy is illogical, unreasonable, and contradict the fundamental rights of the citizens. Hence, the writ petition filed by the Green Wakanda policy is maintained. If your ladyship is satisfied with issue number 1, the council would like to move forward with issue number 2.
I want you to come to the prayer and wrap it up with the prayer.
If your ladyship is satisfied with the arguments put forward by the council, would like to move forward with the prayer. Wherefore, in the light of above arguments, precedents, and provisions in the interest of justice, it is humbly prayed before this honorable court to declare hold adjudge that the writ petition filed by the petitioner, Fundamental Liberties Purpose Maintainable, the Green Wakanda policy is unconstitutional in the territory of Wakanda, or to pass any order, decree, direction, or any other relief as the court may deem it to be fit in the interest of fairness, justice, and equity, all of which is most respectively submitted before the Honorable High Court Council for petition.
Why are you asking, or why are you saying that Green Wakanda policy is unconstitutional in territory of Wakanda? Because you need to understand that under Article 19, you have right to protest or to commute anywhere. Agreed? But then at the same time, this policy itself gives you 10 days to commute. Then why are you saying that it is unconstitutional? It is not unconstitutional. It is restricting you, but that doesn't mean restricting someone is not in public interest. It is in public interest only. It is. Have you just checked out the annexure that has been attached, which is showing the levels of air quality going up? And if you can see that, you can see that is in public interest. So anything that is in public interest, how is it bothering you and seeming unconstitutional to you?
Much obliged to your ladyship.
Yeah, I know time is over. Just give her 2 minutes to explain this thing. I need to hear only 2-3 lines, then we'll proceed further. Okay?
Yes, Your Ladyship.
In the case Mahesh Chandra versus Regional Manager, UP Financial Corporation and others, the court held that the exercise of discretion should be objective. The public functionaries should be duty conscious rather than power charged. Its actions and decisions which touch the common man have to be tested on the touchstone of fairness and justice, which is not fair and just is unreasonable. And what is unreasonable is arbitrary. An arbitrary action is ultra vires. It does not become bona fide and in good faith merely because no personal gain or benefit to the person exercising discretion should be established. An action is mala fide if it is contrary to the purpose for which it is authorized to be exercised. Dishonesty is a discharge of duty, vitiates the action without anything more. An action is bad even without proof of motive or dishonesty. The authority is found to have acted contrary to reason.
Okay, I get that. Okay.
R270, can you switch on your video, please?
Am I audible, ma'am? Hello?
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, but you're not visible.
Good morning, ladyship. If the lordship is well aware about the facts, the council seeks permission to
Good
start with.
morning. Excuse me, please wait. You are not visible. Can you just start your audio? Oh, sorry, video.
I had started.
Can you switch on your video?
I had switched on my video. Why am I not visible? Now
No, you're not visible.
No,
I'm not visible now too.
No, you're
no,
not.
you're not visible.
How it can possible? Just
Are
wait
you
for 2
talking?
minutes, please.
Are you talking from phone? Like, are you connected with phone?
Yes, yes.
Okay, then just do one thing. Go into the settings of general.
Settings. Just wait.
If you can't see settings, just go into the option of general.
General. There is no. Ma'am, I'm not able to see that option.
You can leave the meeting and rejoin again if
Yes,
possible.
while rejoining, okay, while rejoining, listen, just go to the option of general and click there, wherein there is this option coming that says that always don't show my video or something like that. Just turn on
Okay.
that. Okay, yes,
Okay, apology, my ladyship, apology.
no worries. Just do it, try it, and just send. So today is the issue of technical. Right, today is the day of technical issues.
Technical glitches.
Yeah. What is your good name?
I'm at Lavanya.
Lavanya. Okay. Great, great. So you also are attending, like, you and Yashaswini, I'm talking about both. Are you both attending this for the first time, like virtual moot court proceedings?
Yes, your ladyship.
No, I have already participated in a virtual moot court. Okay.
Ladyship.
Yeah, now you're visible.
Yeah, you are now visible.
Okay, apology. Good
No
afternoon,
worries.
ladyship. If the ladyship is well aware about the facts, the council seeks permission to start with the arguments.
Okay, you may start with the arguments and state your issues before.
The issues are, first issue is whether the petition filed by Fundamental Liberties Group is maintainable in High Court of Wakanda. So it is humbly submitted before the Lordship that the contention of this issue is in twofold, and by hearing submissions from the petitioner, it is humbly submitted that respondents submit this is incorrect because of two reasons, and which will be defined by my two contentions. Now, first contention is whether businessmen and industrialists can criticize the policy as an attack on fundamental rights. The council submits that this contention is on the basis of Article 301 and Article 304 subclause B, under which state is authorized to impose restrictions in the interest of general public. And also in AK Gopalan versus State of Madras, while defining the nature of reasonableness, the court observed reasonable means commensurate for the purpose of which restriction is laid down.
Okay, in the index of authorities, in books you have mentioned that you have cooperated to the environmental laws, right? So I need to know that which all environmental laws do you think fit to the petition that you are filing?
The council had taken the Environment Protection Act 1996 as a major thing in my facts. And
yeah, I agree to that, but I am asking that which all articles or sections have you inculcated from the act?
The council had took section number 3 of the Environment Protection Act and subsection E of section 6 of the Environment Protection Act 1996.
Can you please tell the page number for the same?
Page number 21.
21. Okay.
Under this, section 3 gives wide powers to the government to take measures to protect and improve environment, and under subsection E of section 6 gives power to the government to make rule to regulate environment pollution. So, Ladyship, can I start with my arguments?
Just wait. Can you please repeat what you said? Just repeat these sections again.
Okay. Uh, s- Section.
So you are saying that environmental act that you have taken is the major one, right? Also, you have only inculcated two sections of environmental law.
Ladyship, I'd also taken the air prevention and control of pollution Act 1981, in which I took some sections like section 2A, section 19, section 38 and 39, and section 31A of this act, under which there
So
are
I
some
think
provisions.
that has to be your major one, and you have not stated that in the books that you have referred to.
I took the concept of environmental laws for this concept also. So I
But
mentioned
that is
environmental
fine, but
laws.
you have mentioned environmental laws, but you yourself are saying that you have taken many of the sections from Prevention Act also, but I can't see that act anywhere, like in your books that you have referred to.
Leadership page number 21, I had mentioned some sections of that act.
Page number, so I
Like
know you
section
have written. I am asking about the index of authorities that you have made. Okay, anyways, proceeding further. Um, you just proceed. Tell us about Article 19.
Okay, Ladyship. Article 19, I had mentioned that Article 19 subclause 1G says all citizens shall have right to any practice, any profession, or to carry on any occupation, trade, or business. But under Article 19 subclause 6, state is authorized to impose reasonable restrictions in the interest of public. So in Abhilash Textile versus Rajkot Municipal Corporation, Supreme Court stated that there cannot be absolute right given for businessmen and industries to, but they have to comply with the restrictions. So businessmen and industries in this case cannot claim absolute right to carry on any occupation, trade, or business. State is empowered to impose restrictions in the interest of general public. And also, my lordship, the present situation that we all are facing, that is coronavirus lockdown. In this, an order was passed by different state governments that only essential goods and industry shops will be open, and there will be closure of non-essential goods. Like Sabzi market was open, and also ration shops was open. It is not discriminatory. It is just issued for the public interest and to protect the public health, which is the main goal of the state. In this environmental case also, state has issued the order to protect public health from bad environmental causes. Ma'am, also, so the contention by
But you can
businessmen and
also
industries.
see that talking about corona, if you are now up to the comparison, that let me just tell you, the lockdown was for 1 month in corona, right? And the same has been done in this issue, that there has been 1 month application of the policy. Fine. Now, if the state and the center wanted to extend the lockdown, what they did was they extended it to 1 month or 2 months, depending upon the state governments. Now, if you consider the situation that we are taking into account of Gotham City or Gotham capital, then you need to understand the state had extended it for 2 years in comparison to 1 month.
Yes, yes, my
So
lordship.
how can you justify that long time period extension, and how can you say that that is a justification of not violating the, because who actually cannot afford to go to the public transport, then how would they commute? So please
Yes, my
justify to
leadership.
that.
My leadership in present case, state efforts yielded good result just in a month. So extension of policy for better air conditions is valid. The Annexure A clearly state the difference in air quality index in Jan 2020 to Jan 2019, which clearly state that there was such a great difference that imposing restrictions on these for 2 years also
I
is
agree to
valid.
that. There
And
was a
also,
great
ma'am, there
difference.
is
I completely agree to that. But what is the justification to the thing that getting a good result in 1 month, you are of the state is extending it for 2 years? So at least you need to see, and the state is saying that we would provide good amount of public transport for that sake. First, you provide public transport, then you should extend it. Or even if you are providing, you are in the process, then you can't extend it for 2 years. What is your justification for that extension?
Ma'am, under Article 21, it is established that procedure established law should be followed. And in this case, procedure established is followed. It is not arbitrary because state has made a law to protect the citizens, and it has been forecasted that the long-term duration of the policy will help in a greater extent to the citizens. Because air pollution of Wakanda is such a drastic bad rate that it is important to introduce a policy for a greater period. And ma'am, also in Kartar Singh versus State of Punjab, it has been held that a democracy, product of rule of law, aims not only to protect the fundamental right of citizens, but also to establish an egalitarian social order. Individual has to live within the confines, suppressing his unsocial growth, reconciling individual liberty with social control, and liberty cannot stand alone. Liberty must be paired with a companion virtue like liberty and law, liberty and justice, liberty and common good. So state has
Okay,
made
okay,
this
okay,
extension of the policy for common good.
okay. Now, coming to page number 18 of your memorial,
Yes, ladyship.
talking about 2.2, I want to know why have you mentioned historic success of the Clean Air Act in US?
Leadership, I'd mentioned it because it was related to environmental pollution caused due to vehicle pollution.
So you think that whatever uh, the act is stating in US is applicable to the laws of Gotham and is applicable in jurisdiction to the court where you're applying to?
No, leadership, it is not applicable. The council has just mentioned it for the more information that, for all over the world. Not applicable in this present situation, but just for information.
But why are you putting such things for just for informations? You need to substantiate each and everything that you are putting in your memorial. You can't just put things for just for information, especially when you cannot have the jurisdiction for the same. I think that you should
Apology, my lord.
avoid
Apology.
mentioning all these things. Also, now wrap it up with the prayer.
Sure, lordship, sure. Wherefore, in the light of the facts of the case, issues raised, arguments advanced, and statutes severed, that it may be pleased to declare that state's decision of extension of policy is reasonable, and state rightly followed constitutional provisions of environment protection. So, contention by fundamental liberties group is not maintainable, and extension of the policy is constitutionally valid. The court may pass any other order that this honorable court deems in the interest of justice, faith, and good concise fit in, and for this act of kindness, the complainant shall, as duty bound ever, humbly pray, respectfully submit its counsel for the respondent.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ladyship. Thank you.
P155, do you have rebuttals?
Unmute
Yes,
yourself.
ladyship.
Sorry?
I'm not able to hear.
Okay, okay. P155, do you have rebuttals? You can unmute. You have 2 minutes of time.
Yes, ma'am. The council would like to rebuttal. In case Olga Tellis versus Bombay municipal case, the court said that an important facet of right to life is the right to livelihood because no person can live without the means of livelihood. Can the petitioner justify here that the policy does not violate the right to livelihood given under Article 21 of the Constitution?
The council wants to sir rebuttal. In Francis,
You may proceed.
am I audible?
Yes, you are. Proceed.
In Francis Corelli versus Union Territory of Delhi, it has been mentioned that right to livelihood include right to basic necessities of life like food, nutrition, and clothing. And the policy extension of the policy does not result in violation of these rights. It is valid, which is issued in public interest, and it is reasonable.
Your ladyship, if there is no more questions, can you conclude it?
Yes, you can. There are no more questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Participants can
Thank
leave
you.
the group.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Participants can leave the group.
Ma'am, just one thing. We've put in a just one thing. We've put in a column for written submissions that you don't have to evaluate the entire written submissions. It's towards the rightmost end of the score sheet. You don't have to evaluate the entire written submissions. Just their nexus with the arguments. So a lot of time, what students do, they write something else in their memorials and they speak something else. That's just for that
Yes.
purpose we've put in. It's more of a tiebreaker for us because a lot of judges suggested that we insert that in. So kindly put your scores for that as well. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Ma'am.
Should we wait or can we the new participants?
Please wait for 5 minutes.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
No problem. No problem.
Thank you.
Hi team, good going. Is everything going smoothly in the room?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay.
Okay, so you can start with the procedure.
Thank you, ma'am.
P335, you can start with the argument.
Your Lordship, counsel is appearing on the behalf of the petitioner in the case of Fundamental Liberty Group versus State of Wakanda. Considering the time limit, if the Honorable Lordship is well versed in the fact, counsel seeks the permission to proceed to arguments advanced directly.
Yes, you may proceed.
To oblige the Lordship. Your Lordship, issue 1 is on page number 11 of the written submission. Issue 1, whether the petition filed by the FLG is maintainable in the Honorable High Court of Wakanda. Your Lordship, it is most humbly submitted before the Honorable Court that the petition in the instant case is maintainable, as the jurisdiction Article 226 can only be invoked when there is a substantial question of public interest. Secondly, petitioner has locus standi in the instant case. Thirdly, there has been a curtailment of fundamental liberty by the state. Fourth, the petitioner has no alternative remedy available thereof. Your Lordship, it is most respectfully submitted that jurisdiction under Article 226 is not only to issue writs, but also to issue any direction to any authority, including government, to enforce the rights conferred by Part 3 of the Constitution. Your Lordship, it is also held in the case of Roopchand versus State of Punjab, cited as footnote number 2 on the page number 11, that if the right has not been effected and there's only a threat that it will be affected, the Honorable Court held that if the threat is sufficiently serious, that the right will be affected.
Okay, on page number, can you just come on to page number 10? And there you have written that further instant case in the subsequent, on issue number 1, in the substantial question of general public, there as ex pesi exists the violation of Article 19(1)(b), G, 21 of Article 300A. Can you please explain me what is this Article 300A and why have you written that Article 19(1)(g), D, 21 are in furtherance of Article 300A? Aren't they separative articles of fundamental rights in Constitution?
Your Lordship, there's a violation of fundamental as well as constitutional right of the person, and due to typographical mistake, counsel did not write the constitutional violation in the preliminary issue. So, and
okay, I get that, but I am asking about the clarification of Article 300A that you have written.
Your Lordship, vehicle is the property of the owner under the definition that property is anything or virtual entity that is owned by.
Where is Article 300A? Is this article of Constitution or where? What is it? I want to know where is it.
Article 300A is a right to property and the article in the Constitution of Gotham, and it is present on the page number 18 of the written submission from the side of the petitioner.
Wait, let me just see. Also, you have forgot to remove the hyperlinks any which way. Okay. 18, yes. Page number 18. Yes.
The policy also violates the constitutional right of property provided in Article 300A. Your Lordship, in the case of Indian Handicraft Emporium versus Union of India, it was held that right to acquire, hold and dispose of property, although has ceased to a fundamental right, but it continues to be a right, constitutional right under the Constitution, and it ensures that.
How can you say that it is violating the right to property? Where is this thing of property coming into the play when talking about this Wakanda policy, green policy?
Your Lordship, deprivation on the use of property itself should be considered as a deprivation on the use of property is considered to be violation of Article 300A, because vehicle is
Where can you justify that the property you are talking about is the property of state?
Your lordship, there is a general theory that parentis that talks about that state owned everything in the state which is present in the state, and even the property of private individual is the property of the state.
Private of, okay, if that is the case, then why do even contract exist in this world? If everything that is owned by private or any individual is the property of state. I mean, I don't get this point of putting Article 300A into this petition. Also, if you are putting this, you need to justify me for whatever the reason you have put it in, because how is this particular policy restricting use of property? How is it violating the physical or virtual entity? Anyhow, it's not violating virtual entity because it is giving you work from home. If you are saying that not going to the office is violation of your property, if at all you want to say that how can you say that if it's actually physical violation, that it's definitely not virtual violation, because anyhow you can do work from home, right? So how can you justify that and put this whole article into stating that all these articles coming under 1921 are of violation of Article 300A? Okay, if I agree to that there was a typographical error, but at the same time you have inculcated Article 300A, then what is your justification for the same on virtual entity?
Your lordship, property is the vehicle of the owner and a person, and if the policy deprives the person to use the property in a proper manner, it will be considered as a violation of Article 300A, because the policy.
Do you have any case to substantiate this Article 300A?
No, your lordship. I don't know, your
You
lordship.
have, okay, you have just enshrined this article in your memo and you don't have a case to substantiate it. Anyways, moving further, then substantiate Article 14, 19, 21. Also, you have not mentioned other articles like Article 15. Then how can you justify that it is not in violation of Article 15?
Your lordship, basically, Article 15 talks about caste, sex, prohibition on discrimination on the basis of caste, sex, place of work, or anything else. But Article 14.
Okay, keeping that aside, since you haven't mentioned it, just tell me that how is Article 14 violative under this?
Your lordship, Article 14 although permits the reasonable classification, but the classification what government here has taken, they put the the main concern of the pollution was vehicular pollution, and they told that the person from non-essential service will be prohibited to use their vehicle for using their vehicle more than 10 days in a month. Your lordship, the classification has no nexus with the object of the policy, as the restriction should be on the type of the engine, whether it may be GS4. GS4 engine can be used in the unrestricted manner. Eco-friendly engine can be used in unrestricted manner, because in United States Environmental Protection Agency, on page number 16, footnote number 42, it is held at that it is extracted that eco-friendly engine burns less fuel and helps in
So
reducing
you
the
think
pollution.
that whatever is being held in US should also be held in Gotham?
No, your lordship, but it
Then
can
how
be.
can you justify the jurisdiction for the same if you are stating that?
It has a persuasive value, your lordship. It is a general report that is on the basis of eco-friendly engine, that it helps environment by polluting less pollution. Your Lordship, it is not. It seems obnoxious that the person from essential work will use the vehicle, and his vehicle will not pollute environment anymore. It sounds ridiculous by the state government, and the classification is not is of no use at all.
Classification is of no use at all. Why is it of no use at all? It is providing you essentials. It is providing you 10 days to commute. How can you say it is not at all useful? You can see the index, how good the air quality has become. There has been some use and benefits that has been seen by the state. Then that is the only reason it has been extended.
Your Lordship, because the cure provided by the policy is not of the permanent nature. Because all vehicle restriction from the all the vehicle will be uplifted, the vehicle started creating that much pollution again, and the condition will become the same again. So there must be a permanent cure for this pollution issue, which can only be dealt by a restriction on certain type of engines.
Okay, now wrap up with the prayer or reliefs that you want.
Your Lordship, in the light of issue raised, argument advanced, and authority cited, may this honorable court be pleased to adjust, hold, and declare that the instant petition is maintainable, that the policy is violative of Article 14, 19, and the policy extension of the policy is constitutionally invalid. All of which is humbly prayed, Your Lordship.
Okay, thank you.
Much obliged, Your Lordship.
Ishwani, you're on mute.
The respondent can proceed with his arguments.
Much obliged, Your Ladyship. The council represents the respondent, State of Wakanda. In the case, Fundamental Liberties Group versus State of Wakanda.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry. You are not visible to me. Can you please switch on your video?
I have switched on my video, ma'am.
Okay, now you're visible. Okay, fine. You may proceed.
Much obliged, Your Ladyship. If the bench is well versed with the facts, the council would like to move on to these arguments advanced.
Yes, please. And also state the page number that you are on.
Yes, ma'am. It's page number 12 of the memorial, ma'am. The council humbly submits before this. The council humbly submits before the honorable court that the petition filed by the Liberties Group is not maintainable because, firstly, the Green Wakanda policy, hereafter referred to as the policy, falls under the principle of presumption of constitutionality. Secondly, the policy neither intends nor proposes any provisions which curb the fundamental rights of the citizens. And thirdly, the petition does not have a locus standi in the honorable court. And fourthly, the honorable court.
How can you justify this claim that the petitioner has no locus standi?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Lordship. It is admitted that the person requires a locus standi when he has to have a personal or individual right which has been violated or threatened to be violated. Since the petitioner has no right of the petitioner has been infringed, we can say that he has no locus standi before the court. It is admitted that the petitioner have approached the court on frivolous and
How have you decided it? How have you decided it by yourself that no right has been infringed? You have judged the case yourself only.
Ma'am, much obliged, Your Ladyship. There is no action which infringes or poses a threat to the fundamental rights of the citizen, ma'am. And mere apprehension that the petitioner would be deprived of his fundamental right is not enough to invoke the jurisdiction of the court. In the given case, prima facie, no fundamental rights of the defendants have been violated. And if any grounds of the violation of the fundamental rights that can be contended, it would be on a remote speculative grounds, and the same would not suffice to invoke invoke the jurisdiction of this honorable court.
Okay, and how can you say the fundamental rights are not infringed How can you justify that in light of Article 14?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, much obliged, your lordship, your ladyship. Um, um, Article 14 states equality before law. Equality before law means that among equals, the law should be equal and equally administrated. But Article 14 does not prohibit reasonable classification. In the case of Mena Gandhi versus Union of India, the Supreme Court held that Article 14 strikes an arbitrariness in the state action and ensures fairness and equality of treatment. This principle was also reiterated in numerous cases like Kasturi Lakshmi Reddy versus State of Jammu and Kashmir. In the present instance, the act in question, the policy, the Green Wakanda policy, firstly, there is an intelligible differential in the classification, and secondly, this differential should have has a rational relation to the subject ought to be achieved by the policy. It is pretend to note that the object of the policy is to curtail the growing issue.
How can you say that fundamental rights are not being violated? Because talking about fundamental rights, if any of the policy is imposed in such a way wherein it is not violative of public interest or it is enhancing the public interest, then why are you against that thing?
Your lordship, could you just place the question once again? I was not audible due to some interference. Could you just say the question once again? I'm so sorry.
Okay, no worries. Then you may proceed further. Okay, let's talk about Article 21.
21, okay. Ma'am, in your lordship, in the present case, there has been no violation of Article 21 of the Constitution. To establish the violation of Article 21, the Act should be subject to the equality test of Article 14 and a test of reasonableness under Article 19. Article 14 ensures fairness and guarantees against arbitrariness. Article 19 provides that a restriction can be characterized to reasonable. Here, in the impunged case, the government of Wakanda was facing a very serious threat of air pollution. According to the Air Quality Index, toxin levels of the city was at a severe stage and could lead to serious respiratory diseases to the citizens. The government had to take measures to curtail this issue. In fact, it was under the obligation to ensure the health of the citizens, and thus the policy was implemented. The policy was a huge success as it could drastically diminish the high
I
levels
agree
of
to that. The policy was huge success. I agree to that. It was such a huge success that you had to extend it for 2 years. Like, I mean, if it was a success and if it gives you good rates of your air cleanliness, then you need to extend it for the time being, or at least till the process you are not able to arrange more public transport, right? You are saying that we would arrange public transport, and anyhow arranging and giving more public transport on the roads would increase the pollution anyhow. Also taking into account that you are saying that because of the good results of 1 month, you are taking the public interest on stake for 2 years. How is that extension justified?
Much obliged. The policy being extended for a 2-year time being is for the sake of the public interest, ma'am. This what the state achieved in 1 month. If it is such a big what we achieved in this 1 month, if it is prolonged for two more years, then we could actually decrease the very levels of the toxicity. If the policy has not been extended for 2 more years, then what we achieved in this past month would be nothing, because the levels would again rise higher. Then there is no point in implementing this policy. That is why the policy was extended for 2 more years. Coming to the case of public transports, the Chief Minister of the state has assured the public that more public transports will be implemented. Ma'am, if there are 50 people going into a certain area of this state, and 50 people tends to take 50 different cars, the level of toxin will be much higher than if those 50 people optimize the use of a public transport like a public bus, in which all the 50 could go in the same bus. So when you're comparing the levels and pros and cons of both public transport and private transport, the pros of the public transport weighs more. That is why the policy drastically implements on the use of public transports and curtail the use of private transports for 10 days in a week. But reasonable exceptions were given to these policies to maintain social equality, ma'am.
Don't you think it is violative of Article 15? Like if you're talking about people can commute through public transport, then there are many people who can't commute through that. So don't you think that it is violative of that?
No, ma'am. Article 14
No, no,
prohibits the
I'm not talking
discrimination.
about 14. I'm talking about 15.
15. Sorry, ma'am.
Yeah.
My pardon, ma'am. The Article 15 talks about the prohibition of discrimination on the basis of sex, caste, etc. So, ma'am, here in this policy, the policy does not discriminate any citizens of the state under under things like such as caste or sex or anything. Every citizen is supposed to follow the policy irrespective of what their caste or sex or anything is. So so the council.
Yes, but then Article 15 also talks about discriminating anyone on the basis of their disability. So if because of the disability the person is not able to come and commute in public transport, how could you say that it is not discriminating in that way? Also, Article 15 says that any person is not allowed to be restricted from use of any property of the government or public property, but you are restricting them to use that, right? So in these aspects, Article 15 is definitely been violating under this policy.
Much obliged, your ladyship. Ma'am, Article 50, the policy is restraining people from using their private vehicles for more than 10 days in the state. It is not restricting them to use any of the public transportation systems occupied by the government of the state. And also, when you're talking about Article 15, the state has taken measures to provide reasonable exceptions into the policy for people who cannot follow it, like people.
See, you yourself said that it has clearly discriminated because it has been provided with exceptions, and those exceptions are a good list of exceptions. So clearly, state has discriminating it by stating it that this is exceptions.
You're much obliged, your leadership. The exceptions that has been put forward by the policy is with regard to various issues that will be followed, ma'am. And it is also in reasonable mind, because a health worker or the defense sector worker or a government employee who is much needed in the office cannot use the
but how can you decide who is much needed in the office or who is not? Any businessman who is running a family and who is the sole breadwinner of the family, he or she is also required to go to work. How can you say that if they'll not go and work for 20 days, their work would continue? Then how would they eat? Then government should also give some kind of the policy for that.
Much obliged, your ladyship. The policy says that for 10 days they're not supposed to use their vehicle only. It does not say that they're not supposed to work for 20 days, ma'am.
But you need to understand that each and every business could not be done like for work from home, right? If it is a marketable business, then how can you do? And also talking about the manufacturers, industrialists, you are saying that essential commodity shops should be open. Agreed to that. But what if manufacturers, distributors, and industrialists are not able to get their production done? Then how will you get your commodity? If you want extension for this policy, you need to understand that firstly, you need to be thorough with the process that you are asking for grant, asking for the extension. You are not prepared with the public transports. You are not ready to give money to the people who suffer. You are not ready to open the industrialists, let them manufacture anything, not ready to give distributors their due. Then how can you ask for the extension of the policy?
Much obliged, your ladyship. The extension of the state of Wakanda asked for the extension of policy in the interest of public, ma'am, and also all those issues that has been put forward by this honorable court. The issues of not providing a public transport is not an issue right now, because the state government has assured that they are going to provide the improve the public transport system as soon as possible, and that will be done very soon. And ma'am, when you're talking about the exceptions under the ma'am, hello, yeah,
Yes, yes, please.
the exemptions in the work from home scheme, ma'am, these exemptions that has been imposed is not discriminatory, because the exemption that has been provided is of reasonable sound, and any person of reasonable can avail these exemptions, ma'am. They're also it is also exempted from shops, including ration shops, groceries, everything, banks, telecommunications, petrol pumps, power generations, private security services. I mean, lot of industries has been included in the exceptions which can avail the work from home services.
Okay, now just wrap it up with the prayer.
Much obliged, Your Lordship. In the light of the argument advanced, raised, and authority cited, the Council, on behalf of the respondent, humbly submits that the Honorable Court may be pleased to adjudge that the petition filed by the Fundamental Liberties Group is not maintainable in the High Court of Wakanda. The extension of the Green Wakanda policy is constitutionally valid, and or pass any other order that it deems fit in the interest of justice, equity, and good conscience. And for this, the respondent is in duty bound and shall humbly pray.
Okay, thank you for your submission. Thank you.
It was indeed a pleasure in arguing in front of this bench, ma'am.
Okay, it was good to hear you. Thank you.
T335, if you have rebuttals, you can proceed now. I request you to switch on your video.
Your Lordship, respondent on its memory, fifth line of the page number 17, from the very first para, has written that mere apprehension that the petitioner would be deprived of his right is not to invoke the jurisdiction of the court. While in the case of Roopchand versus State of Punjab, cited on page number 11, footnote number 2, cited as EIR 1963, Supreme Court 1503, it was held that if the threat is sufficiently serious, then the petitioner is not bound to wait till his right has actually been affected, and may approach to the Honorable Court under the appropriate jurisdiction.
Okay.
Your Lordship.
The respondent can proceed with the sir rebuttal.
Learned counsel for the petitioner, the case that you mentioned, the jurisdiction, what I've written in the memo regarding this was that a mere apprehension the petitioner would be defied is not enough to remove the jurisdiction of the court. If that is there, if that will happen, then no policy passed by any of the government institution would be able to proceed in the state, because all the policies could be said that they were fundamentally violated. That is why the Supreme Court has in certain cases have pointed out that the petition against a policy on frivolous ground or speculative cannot be held. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Participants, you may leave the group.